Go.
Hello there, YouTube. It is I, Eric Grace, with my fiance Tara Ann Stroh-Schneider, aka Once Upon a Read. We are here to talk about Scream, the TV series, season 1, episode 1. This is a recap of that episode.
I'll give everybody a little backstory on the Scream. Let me look it up here. I didn't have it pulled up. Hell with that. I'll just use Wikipedia. According to online, it says it premiered season 1 premiered June 30th, 2015, and it concluded its first season on September 1st, 2015. So this was I either watched this right after I graduated or the year after. So this was either right when I was in high school or right after I graduated. I can't exactly pinpoint it. I think I was still in school when I was watching this. Um, Going down to the stuff that. Oh, it was filmed in Louisiana for both seasons. Which I was either still in school when this premiered or it was right after I had like graduated. But where were you, babe, at about June 30th, 2015? Was this a year before you met me? I just burped on the video. Oopsies. Okay, so I'll start it off with my notes and then tell me when you have to butt in, okay? Not literally, but it starts off with after posting a shaming video online of classmate Audrey Jensen and Rachel Murray kissing. You had notes about that.
Yeah, this scene girl goes on the internet and goes viral. 500 likes and counting as far as the like pool of the people that watch
Yeah,
it.
and then it was
There,
scrolling through. There were, if you didn't notice, there were comments on it saying like, "Oh, like lesbian, these girls shouldn't be together. Why is this shit online? You guys should go cut yourselves."
and even there were some comments that were like, "Go get it, girl," or "Wow, that's hot. Wow, that's cool. I wish my girl could do that."
Yeah, there's a bunch of like rude, like slutty, like just disrespectful things being said to them, pretty much. Where am I at minutes? Nina Patterson is dropped off at her parents' mentioned by her boyfriend Tyler. Which technicality, they're not boyfriend and girlfriend because remember she says to him like, "You're not coming into my house because you just want in my pants."
Yeah,
So
she
she
was a
technicality, they're not dating.
yeah, which she seemed pretty respectable of like protecting herself by saying, "Hey, all you just want to do is get into my
Oh,
pants.
she's
Sorry."
not, babe, she's not respectable. If you go on the later episode, remember she slept with Will?
Oh yeah,
Nina was I'll say it's, as Audrey says later on, like, Nina was not but pretty much a stone cold bitch and a slut, pretty much. Like, if Nina wanted something, Nina got it, pretty much. She wanted something, she got it. And then it says, this one says, while Nina is home alone, Ghostface, which would be like the Ghostface it's the same mask it's the same killer that they do in the Scream movies. It's the same mask, so yeah. Impersonates Tyler, and that's when they're taunting. Nina's in there, and she notices her little webcam on her computer goes off, and she sees that like she's being filmed, so she slams the computer shut. That was after she got the video like Snapchat recordings of her like taking off her towel and like changing into her swimsuit.
Yeah, which, at first, I thought it was like a stalker, someone's overly obsessed about this girl. It seemed like that she may have had stalkers in her past, and that's why she was very cautious about what was going on around her.
And then that's when she goes and gets the messages and stuff, and then she takes the phone with her. She's walking out towards the hot tub. She gets in the hot tub, and then the killer texts her. It's like heads up, and she like turns around, and then she hears this splash in the water. She turns back around, and she sees Tyler's like severed head like in the freaking like jacuzzi water in the hot tub. And then that's when she screams. She gets out of the hot tub. She runs. She hides behind on the tree, and the dumbass fucking uses Surrey to fucking call 911 when it just like calls fucking Pottery Barn because she's too stupid to fucking dial it herself.
Which kind of made me go, okay, you have a touch screen, use it. Even when my hands are wet, I can still
But the thing is, how would she have gotten called connected to 911? Because with the killer right there, the killer could have intervened with that cell service and not have her call go through.
This will be true.
Because her phone was like a pretty like good ass decent phone. And when she said clearly, Surrey, call 911, and it's like calling Pottery Barn. I think the killer had gotten into her phone and interfered with it so she couldn't call the police.
Yeah, that's where I kind of felt what she felt, was like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I'm majorly, I can't get out of this. And that's when she went to the house, because
that's when she runs to the back door. And she tries to unlock those, like, the back doors. But they're locked, and then that's when the lights are going off and on, and the lights are being... And then that's when the killer comes up behind her. And then that's when they slash her across the back. And then that's when she screams. And then she tries to run away like a freaking idiot. But she falls because she's freaking barefooted and she don't realize where the fucking water is.
Well, here's the thing. It's just you get slashed in the back. You're immediately, you feel the pain, you feel the shock. You even temporarily forget where you're at. So wherever you're running, you don't know. Plus, her back was severely slashed.
Not really. He only slashed it once. He didn't severely kill her yet.
Which, if that blade, went and hit something.
It never did. It just scratched her back. That's all it did. Because the real damage was when she falls, Ghostface grabs her, slashes her throat, and then he throws her body into the pool. And then the camera pans up to her phone when she's already dead. This is after she's already dead, she's already gone. And this is when it says her mom's calling her. And then it shows like Ghostface facing the camera, and then that's when it like shows the title. That's when the title thing pops up.
Yeah. But, like, it's just weird.
What do you mean?
Even I got confused a little bit on, like, what was going on, but I kind of connected the dots to what was going on. It's a very interesting show at the beginning, and I just think it's cool.
And then the next scene that happens is Emma Duvall studying with her boyfriend Will before having breakfast with her mom Maggie, who works at the coroner in the town of Lakewood. And then Emma teases her mother about Maggie's possible romantic connection to Sheriff Clark Hudson. You have anything to say about that?
With a romantic connection between the girl.
Well, that and her douchebag of a boyfriend, Will.
Yeah. One of the
Don't tell him
things
about
that
the
I
cheating thing. That's coming up.
okay. Yeah, I just saw that, and I thought, what is this girl doing with this guy? Like,
Oh, there's a
seriously,
reason why,
what
but I
the?
can't tell you. You don't find that out till like episode between 4 and 7. I think you find out why.
But as far as the romantic connection between the girl, I think the parent of that child
Maggie,
had every.
That would be Maggie, and the child would be Emma.
Yeah, I just feel that every single parent should have the right to ask their kids about.
Feel free to use their names, babe.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just I think differently
It's okay.
on stuff. That's why I don't bring up names. But like Maggie asking her that question, I think was a good question. What's going on with this person, or what's going on with that person?
You mean
That's very.
Emma? You mean Emma asking Maggie about her relationship with the sheriff?
Yeah. Alright.
Because then she's basically referencing to the Brandon James whole mess up thing, which that is coming up in a minute. So then at the high school, Audrey basically talks with Noah, which he's like the like nerd or whatever, like the horror like person that's like addicted to that stuff. He's talking about Audrey's video, and Emma and Will discuss the video with their friends, which you then meet Brooke, Riley, Jake. So the group consists of Emma, Will, Brooke, Riley, and Jake. Because there was Tyler and Nina, but Tyler and Nina are gone. So then that leaves 5 in the group.
Yeah, just one of the things that also about the group is I think that they are jokers, that they don't really care that they.
No, Emma cares.
Well, just the whole entire group in general. Just I see jokes being
No, you're thinking of the others, babe. Emma cares.
Yeah.
But the other ones are just like, no, Emma, Noah, and Audrey are the normal ones. The rest of them are just being assholes about Nina and Tyler dying because they don't really give a shit. They think it's okay to be like, oh, going around saying, oh, Nina was you freaking slut. Like, being a douchebag and, Brooke hinting when they were together at the school, she was hinting about that whole Nina and Will thing, but Emma didn't catch on to it yet. She gave a little, if you paid attention, she gave a little subtle hint at the school that was saying that, Will's not a good boyfriend for you, Emma. Go find somebody else. He's nothing but a cheater and once again, every girl's pants, pretty much.
Well, I'm gonna add a little something that bothered me, of course, was just with me being in high school back in the day. I've seen these types of people before, but if if a student that you know and that you know personally, regardless if your opinion is bad of this person,
about it is, like, they don't joke about everybody else dying, but, you know, the only reason they did it is because everybody hated Nina. And hell, they all said it. Everybody hated her. Nobody wanted her in the group.
Yeah.
You know? She's the freaking one that's being a slut, that's being rude to everybody in that group, and is backstabbing everybody.
Even if I hated someone, I wouldn't make jokes about that. Just my perspective.
I understand, but even, I swear, I would have. If that girl is a stone cold bitch and a stone cold slut like the way she is, I would have been acting like the others, being like, you know what, I'm glad she's gone. You know, I just would have been like saying, I'm glad, you know, she's not. I wouldn't be saying like, I'm glad she's not here, but you know, I'm just saying, glad you don't have to deal with her going around being a bitch and a slut to everybody there is. Because, you know, you can only take, and we gotta go on to the next scene anyway, so yeah. Then Nina's parents goes home and the mother finds her, blah, blah, not important. Words of Nina's death makes it to school, and here's where it gets important. One rumor, excuse me, regarding the killer's identity suggests that Brandon James has returned to Lakewood. Serial killer history. There's Noah, tells the story of how Brandon James had a caring older brother named Troy, was a teenager with Proteus syndrome, or like Elephant Man syndrome, who died 20 years earlier. Brandon had fallen in love with a girl named Daisy, but when she became frightened by his appearance following an unmasking at the school's Halloween dance, a group of drunken jocks beat him. Brandon then killed 5 students. Cops later shot Brandon during an arranged meeting with Daisy at the pier. On the pier. And then that's when Daisy is revealed to the audience at that point, that's when it's revealed that it's Emma's mother. Emma's mother is Daisy. Emma's mother is the one who Brandon was obsessed with. Because it showed her, and she went in the cabinet and pulled out a box of all the stuff that Brandon had given her. And she pulled out a wooden heart. Because remember, the story goes, Brandon's brother said he was obsessed with the girl named Daisy. He was making carvings with her name on it.
Which, you know, he's a good craftsman. I'll give him that.
Yeah, because she pulled out this wooden heart, and I'm going to get a drink here. She pulled out the wooden heart out of the box, and it said Daisy was carved into it, which is Emma's mother. Emma's mother is Daisy, the one Brandon James was obsessed with. And there is an episode where Maggie takes Emma to her old house and explains more about the whole Brandon James thing.
I just think personally that Daisy should have, instead of not accepting him for his looks.
She did accept him. Do I need to just fucking tell you what happened at freaking Emma's mother's house? Because then you're just gonna wonder.
I'd rather keep it, you know, a surprise for me.
No, she did. She did accept Brandon, babe. The thing is, she says it in that first episode. She was there for Brandon when no one else was. Remember? She's telling the sheriff.
Yeah.
She did care for Brandon. Remember? She told the sheriff that she did. She's not the one, babe, she's not the one that hurt Brandon. She didn't hurt Brandon. The jocks that beat him, I'll go ahead and say it now because it's just going to get revealed and it's not as important. One of the jocks that beat Brandon James was Emma's dad, Kevin, that they mentioned. That was one of the jocks. Alright, I'll just just go ahead and fucking explain it now, because then it's not gonna make sense if I don't explain it. Let me go to my notes and let me find an episode where they go to Brandon James. Let me just find it, okay? Because it's just gonna have to get explained now. Because if it don't, because when Ozzy doesn't, it's right after the hospital. You talk about Brandon James while I find it.
One of the things that I do like about him is that he fell in love with this girl, beautiful girl, and it almost kind of reminds me of me on how, you know, I'm not that good looking, but, you know, I fell in love, and at first, you know, I was very scared of acceptance and all of that, and he went a step further and went in person to this school to meet this girl, and this, and I just find him very good a person, but I think the fact that he was tortured, that he couldn't get past his demons. I mean, he just couldn't. And one of the things that I got emotional with was he got shot as he said, "I love you, Daisy." And he was shot. Me personally, I was like, why shoot him instead of getting him into ambulance? Why hurt him and put this girl, Daisy, through the trauma of watching him get shot?
Here it is, I found it. Emma's mother takes, this is way on later episode, but I'm just going to reveal it now, because if I know it, then it's not going to make any sense. Emma's mother takes Emma to her childhood home. Let me see what episode this was, so I tell you, so then that way we get the reference. Oh, this is in episode 6. So Emma's mother takes Emma to her childhood home and tells Emma a story about how she and Brandon James grew up together and were friends, and he was misunderstood. But she said how she fell into the popular crowd and how Brandon knew how she was mistreated by Emma's father, and then that's when, you know, the whole beating up by the jocks happened. But she said how she wished she would have stood up for him more, but that was before he was shot and killed at the police. That wasn't when they were little. That's when she was with Emma's father, that she wished she would have stood up for Brandon more. No, Maggie, aka Daisy.
Maggie, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got Maggie and Emma confused when I first watched it too. I mean, Emma looks just like Maggie, so yeah.
But Maggie, aka Daisy, I mean, him and Daisy would have been perfect together.
This has been 22 minutes, so I'm gonna end. Hold on, babe. I'm gonna end this one.